So I've kind of briefly mentioned this in passing in previous videos and stuff, but I thought I would make a video specifically regarding this. And obviously, if you've seen the title, you already know, but most of my life I've been an extreme procrastinator in every possible respect when it comes to, household chores, doing the dishes, running errands that I don't want to do, and of course school, which is kind of like the most prescient and important facet of my life right now. Procrastination at every turn, and obviously it's annoying, but being a procrastinator is being a procrastinator. It's kind of a vicious cycle, and I would imagine it certainly hasn't helped my grades. If anything, it's more than likely made them suffer, because if I ever have the opportunity then to procrastinate, then I'm probably going to. If I have, like Fridays, I don't have any school, I could spend 8 quality hours doing work. But of course, if I let myself, which would more than likely happen, I will get up at 9 o'clock, I'll drink coffee for an hour, I'll surf the internet for an hour, I'll sit on Reddit or YouTube, and then I'll do a couple chores, and before I know it, it's noon. So I'll do a couple things around the house, maybe run an errand for an hour or two, and then before I know it, it's 3 and 4 o'clock. And maybe I'll do a little more work, maybe I won't, maybe I'll get caught up doing something stupid that doesn't need to be done right now, that's not important. And then before I know it, it's 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, Anna's home, and then we have to make dinner and eat, talk to her, all this other stuff. And then the whole day is gone in the blink of an eye, and I have nothing to show for it. And it's irritating, but I let myself do it just because it's my nature. Knowing that I'm going to procrastinate at every opportunity, I decided this semester that I just wasn't going to give myself the opportunity, and it's going to be painful and tiring and annoying sometimes, but it's what I have to do. I have to do it. I can't give myself the opportunity to just sit around and dawdle for several hours at a time. I literally can't afford to do that, which is why I took an 8 a.m. class, which meets twice a week. Now I have to be there. I have to get up early. And today is the first day this week I haven't gotten up at 5:30 or earlier. And that was painful because I'm not a morning person by any stretch of the imagination. But I managed to do it because I had to do it. And I wasn't going to wake up at 5:30 in the morning on Mondays and Wednesdays and then sleep in on the other 2 days, because that's just going to be even more painful, not having a schedule and any kind of regularity in my sleep cycle. So I got up at 5:30 every day. And sometimes that meant being a little more productive. Not incredibly, not as much as it could be. Still working on it. It's week 1. So I have to. It's non-negotiable now. I don't have the opportunity to procrastinate, because if I get up any later than that, then I run the risk of ultimately being late to class, which I don't want to do, because it's my second hardest class, graph theory, and I need to be there every class. And same thing and that's also why I decided to continue working at the level that I'm at, with how many hours that I'm putting into that. It cuts into my study time, but one, it's nice to have that extra dough on top of BAH and my disability and all the other things that I get. But it forces me to be extremely conscientious about how I allocate my time. If I spend all this time in school and all this time doing work, then I have to utilize the rest of that time as much as I can, or else my grades will suffer. And I cannot afford to fail all my classes. Literally, mentally, temporally. So I would fail my classes. That means I would have to obviously be in college longer, and I got places to move to in a year. And I think it'll go well. I feel better. Well, not physically better, but mentally I feel better. I feel less like a lazy slob when I get up at 5:30 in the morning and I go to class from 8 a.m. to 12:15, and then 3 to 7:30 I go to work, and then after that I come home and diligently do homework until 10 p.m. and then I go to bed and do it again the next day. I feel good about that. It's tiring. I get tired. I'm drinking a lot of caffeine in the process of trying to acclimate to this, but I basically have to do it to myself. I can't give myself the opportunity to waste a day away or waste an afternoon away doing stuff that's pointless, just me goofing off. And if I make all these commitments with myself, with early classes, with having a job, with volunteering to do other things, I literally don't have the time to goof off. And, if that's what it takes, that's what it's going to take. And I don't like it. I love goofing off, obviously. Who doesn't? If I could major in surfing the internet, I would have an A+. And as kind of a consequence of this, it's forced me to be a lot more organized than I usually would be. When I first started going to college, I didn't keep a planner at all. And that was all right. I don't know how I managed, frankly, but I did. Turn stuff in on time and remember to do things and whatnot. But that didn't last. And so I started doing that, and then I wasn't really consistent with it. I wasn't using it all the time like I should. And this semester I was like, no, I'm going to write down every single thing that I have to do every day. Even if I know I have class, I'm going to write it down anyhow. And subsequently, that's what this month looks like. Is that in focus? I can't tell. I have my school schedule, my work schedule, other commitments that I have on the weekends. Like tomorrow morning, I'm taking a friend's graduation pictures. And then the yard sale that we're having, and when we get paid, and when we're going on to Texas, and when we're going on vacation and spring break, and literally everything about my life is right here. So I don't have to worry about remembering it because I'm bad with dates. Anna's always asking me what day I'm doing something or what time something goes until, and I'm just like, I don't know, let me get my planner, because if it exists, then it's in my planner. And in addition to that, I've started using my moleskin again that I bought last semester for things that I have to do that are just random stuff for any given day. Like today I had clean the chimney because we've had like 3 fires in the fireplace, and it smells like a smokehouse in my living room because there's still a bunch of ashes. And mowing the yard because, now it's starting to grow again. And then other things that I want to do. I got to start getting my passport because we're going out of the country on spring break. And because I can't possibly remember all of this. I'll remember some of it for sure, but I can't remember all of it. So when I put it on paper, I, remove that responsibility off of my brain. And I know all I have to remember to do, rather than a bunch of things, is just one thing. And that's look at my planner or look at my moleskin and say, oh, yeah, that's right. I need to do that today. I forgot, but it's fine that I forgot because I wrote it down when it mattered. So, I don't know. It's just my 2 cents. It feels like I'm trying to make these changes kind of incrementally and a little bit at a time, with the waking up and taking on more responsibility and taking on a really, really arduous schedule at school and balancing that with work and all this other stuff. I don't know. I guess I feel like I was getting a little stagnant, and it was time for some growth and time to take on a little more responsibility, because most of my college career, I haven't had a job. School has been my job, and that gave me, I feel like, a really bad excuse to goof off a lot because I had so much extra time that I thought I had to procrastinate and put things off and, not study hard until a month before my final. It's like, that's not healthy or beneficial. I felt like this, if I kept going the way I was going, things were going to end badly. And this is the only thing I could think of that was surefire, which was to make promises and subsequently being forced to keep those promises and hold myself accountable to the commitments I make to my job, to class, and to other people. So I feel like it's going well so far. We'll see. Obviously, with all this stuff I have going on, I don't have any free time. I've already said no to a bunch of stuff I would like to do, but yeah, that's the price you pay for, having a hard major and working and stuff. Sacrificing the short term to benefit in the long term. That's what it's all about, right? But anyhow, I just thought I would share that. It felt like a a big click in my brain, after being a severe procrastinator for 26 years of my life, 26 and a half years. And I feel like this is the change I finally needed to make if, I want to be, you know, a 30-year-old that's, proud of their position in life. But anyhow, I'm starting to ramble, so that's all I got for today. But thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.